Hey guys, here are a couple examples using the formulas for spheres, both surface area and volume. So here's the first example here. You've got an orange, all right, so I'll have to assume an orange is roughly a sphere. And the radius is 2 inches. And then I kind of usually draw something like this so you can kind of give it that 3D effect. Okay, so you've basically got yourself your sphere, kind of like up at the top, you've got your example there. So basically the same thing. And the radius is 2 inches. Okay, and they want to know how much peel is there around the outside of the orange. So that's essentially asking you for surface area, right? The amount of peel on the outside of the orange. So surface area is 4 pi r squared, and we know the radius is 2, so that's going to be 4 pi 2 squared, and then it's just a matter of simplifying from there. 2 squared is 4, times 4 is 16, times pi, and again, I'm just going to use 3.14. I got about 50.24, and this is going to be square inches. Okay, and that would be the the surface area for this sphere. They also ask for the volume. Okay, so volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. Again, all we really need is the radius for this, so I'm going to go ahead and do 4/3 pi times 2 cubed. And at this point, if you just want to use your calculator, it's totally fine. Just be careful when you put in the 4/3. I usually put it in parentheses, 4/3 in parentheses, so I don't get messed up. And then I can multiply through by pi and then times 2 cubed. And that'll get it for us. Okay, so about 33 let's call it 33.5. 33.5, and that would be cubic inches. Now, if I chose to do 4 divided by 3 separately, that's fine. But I would go out at least 2 places. So 1.33 times pi times 2 cubed, which is 8. And you see you still get basically the same thing, 33.4, 33.5. Both are acceptable as long as you show your work. Okay, so there's the basics for surface area and volume. Then, of course, you always have those kind of problems where they make you have to work a little bit backwards sometimes. So here they're actually giving you the surface area, and they're asking you to find the volume. So if I know the surface area, I can set the surface area formula equal to that, 4 pi r squared, solve for the radius, and then once I know the radius, I can put it in to find the volume. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Okay, 125 divided by 4 is 31.25 equals pi r squared. So now I can divide by pi. You can do this in one step if you want, by the way. You just have to make sure you put the 4 pi in parentheses. So this becomes 31.25 divided by pi is about 9.95. And that's r squared, right? Because the pi's cancel out. And then I got to take the square root of both sides. So, I mean, this is almost 10, so it's probably going to be a little over 3 or something like that. I get 3.15 is the radius, and that's going to be inches. Right, so that's the radius. I still got to put in for volume. But now that I know the radius, I can do the volume problem the same way I did before. Volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, and I'll do it in the calculator just like I did before. So I've got 4/3 times pi times the radius, which is 3.14, just happens to be 3.14, to the third power. And I get about 129.6, and that's going to be cubic inches. Okay, there's your basics. That should probably be enough to get you started, and then we'll see how far you get, and we'll go from there and do any more complicated ones as needed. Okay, see you later.